Hi, everybody, and welcome to W315 Writing for the Web. I'm Dr. Nichols-Boyle, and I will be your guide and teacher through this semester in this short summer session. So, I just wanted to take a few minutes to kind of show you how the course will be laid out, where you find everything in Canvas, and a little bit about an introduction to the course before we get into our first week here. So first of all, for the first week anyway, you'll see that the home page will go right to this syllabus link until we get more familiar with it, so you can go through how the course works, see the main ideas, and then this will change to recent activity along the way. So writing for the web, a little bit about how the course works, and then we'll get a little bit more into what the course is about and what we'll be doing this semester, or this session rather. It's only 6 weeks, a short session this time. So how the course works, if you're watching this video, you've already clicked on this link that will be there, and then here's some of the major functions here. So with the exception of this first week, because you all are beginning this on a Monday, I will have in the future, each week is going to start on a Tuesday and go to the following Monday. So by 8 a.m., the new week will be up. So week 2 will be up next Tuesday. And the previous week's major assignments will be due the previous Monday by 11:59 p.m. So for example, week 2 will start Tuesday, May 24th and go to Monday, May 30th. Week 3's module will be up on Tuesday, May 31st. And week 2's major assignments will be due Monday, May 30th by 11:59 p.m. So due on the Monday, the next week's up on the Tuesday. Generally, we will have a discussion forum every week. This is part of your participation in weekly homework assignment grades and a way for us to participate and get to know each other better, as well as practice a lot of skills. So that will be, in order for us to be able to give everyone time to respond to each other, that will be due midway through the week. So the first discussion post will be due Friday by 11:59 p.m. each week, and then you will respond to a classmate by the time all your other assignments are due, Monday by 11:59 p.m. So due to this short summer session, we will sometimes also have shorter assignments due on a Friday as well, so I can give you some feedback before the next assignment is due. But all the major assignments, the ones that require the most work and time, will be due given the full week and be due on the Monday. So just follow along. It will be pretty clear as it goes along. Most of the time, most of the major assignments will be due on the Monday, with just the first initial discussion forum post due on the Friday. And again, because we are meeting online and a face-to-face course, we would be meeting twice a week for about 3 hours each, so about 6 hours a week, which is the summer session goes fast part. So you should expect to put in that amount of time with the kind of lecture and activities we would normally be doing in class. So you should expect that we will be putting in at least an average of at least 6 hours of work each week this session. And as we get into the larger projects, then it might be a little bit longer as you need more time to work on things outside of those 6 hours, which is needed for getting information and activities and the practice across. So be prepared for that. If that's not something you're ready for this semester, or it just doesn't work out for you in the summer, think about that soon, because you only have through, I think, the first Sunday to get your full money's worth back, and we do have a wait list. But I hope you will stay with it, because it's a lot of fun. I vary a lot of the activities, and I think the course content will be really helpful for you in your future professional lives. The most important thing probably here is that the course is organized by modules. So as you can see, we don't have a lot of links up here to the side. I'll take you through the module just to kind of get the hang of it too. But this is really the modules. That's where you're going to get the week's assignments, the information, and that's really where you need to go every week. If you're ever lost, just go to modules. So almost everything you need for the course will be found there, links to the necessary materials and assignments, and each week will be its own module. I do not put all the weeks up ahead of time, because you need to complete each week and understand those concepts in order to move on to the next week. So I will be putting them up each week as it comes. When we get to the big website project towards in about the 4th week, we're spending the second half working on building on those concepts. then you will have the opportunity to sort of work ahead a little bit because you will know what the major project will be. But until then, we are doing it sort of 1 week at a time. And as I said, as the course progresses, if there are some materials that you will need for more than 1 week, I would usually put up, say, a module that would just be materials, and you can draw from that as well. Also, if you have other questions, always look at the syllabus first. Again, after the first week, it'll move to the syllabus link instead of just being the main homepage. But in addition to the information here, it also has things about specific policies, grading, all of those kinds of things, contact information. So make sure you review that first. You can click here to download and print off the entire syllabus if you wish. And I also have that link at the bottom. And again, always, I'm very open to questions. I really want you to feel free to talk to me and ask if you have issues. Because I don't see you every day or in the classroom, it's really important for me to get that feedback and know if there are problems. So the chances are that if you have a question, other students do too. So it's really great to contact me. I'm very open to that. By email, of course, is the easiest way for an online class. But if you don't have a regular chance to get to your email and you have a question, or if you want something that's a little bit more detailed, feel free to make an appointment to come by my office and we can talk, or to have a phone call or something like that. So here's my contact information. I'm in Y Camp on the 3rd floor. If you do want to come and see me, and here's my office phone. If you call there, leave a message that will come to my email as well, but email is usually the best way to reach me. I'm not always in my office or by my phone, especially in the summer, but I will be by my email quite a lot. My policy is to respond to all messages within 24 to 48 hours, Monday through Friday, within 24 hours. At least if it's something more complicated, I might just say, I got it, I'll get back to you with more feedback as soon as I can, and 48 hours on the weekends. So a little bit longer on the weekends perhaps. My office hours. So on a Monday, which is the day your assignments are due at the end of the day, Monday by 11:59 p.m. So I figured this is a good time. A lot of you might be on a lunch break if you're working. So for Monday 12 to 1, I'm holding virtual office hours. I won't do a face-to-face unless people request it, but I will be at my computer, and anything you email me or have a question about via email, I will respond to it immediately during that time period. If you, again, want to arrange a face-to-face meeting or phone call, please email me to make an appointment. And you can either use, again, just my email address here, or go to the inbox and messages thing here. Tuesday to Thursday afternoons are the best times for me, but I'll work around your schedule whenever I can, and it's really important for me to be there and available if you have questions or need to work through any technology or anything like that. Again, some of the other things, we don't have required texts for this. You don't have to have a textbook. Everything will be available online. So everything will be available in Canvas modules section. You don't need any special software or advanced technology knowledge to complete this course. All the programs we use are free web-based applications, and I will give you instructions for their use. Often we'll give you written instructions and usually a video to kind of go through new technology as well. But you do need to have at least a basic computing knowledge, fast internet connection, reliable access to a computer. I found that people who do not have their own computer, don't have reliable access to a friend's or spouse or partner's computer, do have a lot more difficulty successfully completing this course, because we do everything on the computer, and it sometimes involves needing a pretty quick connection for some of these website building things a little bit later on. So just make sure that's something that you have, because I do not accept computer issues for as an excuse for later missing assignments. Okay. This is a little bit about the course description and the course goals. Basically, this course is called Writing for the Web. So obviously we need to use some technology, and we'll be learning about effective design and how writing goes along with that. But the focus is on presenting yourself professionally in writing in a web format. So for the purposes of this summer session, we're concentrating primarily on e-news, often a thing that companies will use, and websites. By the end of this, you will be able to formally analyze effective and ineffective web design and content, and you will be creating your own website to promote yourself for the workforce. And it will not be using code, we'll be using a website builder, but you will have to think about your audience, choosing the right materials, writing actively, concisely, getting the attention of the audience in a way that's very difficult with all that's out there in the internet. So we're going to work on those kinds of skills and strategies, including things like how to get your writing on the web to pop up higher in a web search and all of those kinds of things. So in opposed to sort of academic writing where you kind of have this audience that has to read your work, it is a little bit different here in that you really have to attract that audience and be very specific and targeted, and you have to be much more concise, get to the point faster, use links, use chunking, all of these things that we'll learn throughout the semester. So it really is a different kind of skill set, and it's one that I think is really becoming a necessary skill in the 21st century workplace. So this is kind of what this goes over. Our goals are that awareness of audience, professional writing skills, and visual literacy and web skills. The three major things for the requirements for the grading scale here, we have the weekly homework assignments, things like the discussion forums, the preparation, the responses, including those kinds of prep along the way leading up to other bigger things like rough drafts and the article, news article, e-news article, and the website project. All of that is kind of your participation grade, and depending on how complete that is, this is 30% of your grade. So that's a big part of it. The e-news writing article is going to be 20% of your grade, and then the big website project, which we'll be working on for the second half of the semester, building on the skills, is worth half of your grade, and there's an evaluation that goes along with that. So it's heavily weighted towards that end, but we will be doing a lot of those preparation and building on those skills along the way, and I will be giving you lots of feedback so that you can be as successful as possible in that. A little bit of the grading scale, and then basically just the calendar topics, major due dates, what we'll be doing in basics each week, and again, more details and all the assignments and readings will be in the module section. And then the full printable syllabus is, again, down here, another link to that at the end. And the final website project will be due just the morning after our last week, Tuesday, June 28th by 8 a.m. So that's the basics of the course as a whole. I'll be telling you a little bit more about my background and a little more about me and the introductions in the first week and the discussions. But this gives you a little overview just to go through the different other sections. The modules, again, is the main section that you want here. I have a link to just the course schedule, just what we're doing each week here. And here's your first week. So you should always go through and read the instructions. So you can just click through it, and here's a navigation note. Each week you can either use just the week one instructions, print this off, check it off, and go through them one by one this way. Or you can just scroll down and click next, and it will take you to the next thing. So Are You Ready assessment is the next thing here. You can open that. Then you would move on to looking at the syllabus, and then move on to discussion one. This is locked until May 16th, until Monday at 8 a.m. But that's the idea, and then you would just work through each of these activities. So whichever way works for you, but always at least read the instructions, because sometimes I do give recaps or important things that you need to know there. The assignments is often where you will, although they're linked to in modules, is often where you will submit work as well, like your technology assessment for the first week and your response to the first reading. The discussions, obviously, you will do in the discussion format there, and there will be instructions for that. But assignments is the other place where you can look to see what you've missed. But again, they're all linked through the module section as well. Your grade section, I update this at least once a week. So you can look there for your grades and see how it's going. It should have the percentages along the way as well, and have your percentages over here so you know how you're doing. And again, you can always ask me if you have any questions. This media gallery, I will put up the videos along the way too, so if you miss one or that kind of thing, you can go back there, as well as going into modules. And people, of course, is just a list of the other students in the class and me. So this is just a way to to know everybody and where they're at. If you click on their name, I believe it takes you to a way of emailing them as well. So that's a little bit about the course. Really looking forward to meeting all of you. I think it'll be a fun course. I allow a lot of creativity and flexibility, but I do want you to learn how to also do that in a professional way and make this something that you can really use in your future careers. So again, let me know if you have any questions. Welcome to the course, and I hope to hear from all of you soon.